let's go down the rabbit hole a little. Because mirrors have fascinated spiritual seekers for thousands of years, long before modern psychology tried to explain the experiences people have with them. When people talk about the mirror exercise from a spiritual perspective, they're usually connecting it to a much older practice called mirror scrying. Scrying simply means using a reflective surface to receive visions, insight, or messages from the subconscious or spiritual realm. Instead of a crystal ball, some traditions use mirrors, still water, obsidian stones, or polished metal. Across history, mirrors were believed to do something symbolic and mystical. They reflect not only the body, but the hidden layers of the self. Ancient cultures believed mirrors could reveal things that the physical eyes normally cannot see. For example, in ancient Egypt, polished metal mirrors were used in temple rituals. Priests believed the mirror symbolized the soul seeing itself. In Greek mysticism, there were rituals where mirrors were placed over water and used for prophecy. In Aztec and Mesoamerican traditions, the god Tezcatlipoca was associated with an obsidian mirror used to see into other realms and hidden truths. In European occult traditions during the Renaissance, practitioners used black mirrors to enter deep trance states and receive visions. So spiritually speaking, mirrors were often seen as gateways between the visible and invisible worlds. Now, when someone does the modern mirror exercise, staring into their own eyes for several minutes, spiritual teachers often say something deeper is happening. They believe the mind begins to move into a liminal state, which means the space between waking consciousness and dreamlike awareness. When this happens, the layers of identity we normally carry, our social persona, our daily mask, begin to loosen and this is where the experiences people report start appearing. Some people say they see different faces emerging in the mirror. Spiritual interpretations of that include things like past life expressions of the soul, ancestral lineage showing itself through the face, the shadow self, hidden emotional wounds or suppressed parts of the psyche, archetypal images from the deeper mind, symbolic spiritual guides or protective spirits. Another thing many people notice during mirror gazing is that the eyes begin to feel extremely intense, almost like the reflection has its own presence. From a mystical perspective, the eyes are often called the windows of the soul. When you stare into your own eyes long enough, it can feel like you're no longer looking at your personality, but something deeper looking back at you. Some spiritual teachers say this moment is when a person begins encountering their higher self or true consciousness, the part of them that exists beyond the identity they play in the world. Others say the mirror becomes a tool for confronting what they call the shadow, the parts of ourselves we avoid seeing. That's why some people feel emotional, unsettled, or deeply introspective during the exercise. The mirror doesn't allow you to look away from yourself. Interestingly, people who practice mirror gazing regularly say there are stages that can happen. First stage, you simply see your normal reflection and become aware of your thoughts. Second stage, your face may begin to blur, shift, or subtly distort. Third stage, other faces or expressions may appear in the reflection. Fourth stage, a deep feeling of detachment or spiritual awareness may arise, like observing yourself from outside your identity. Many spiritual practitioners say the purpose isn't the visions themselves. The real purpose is self-recognition, seeing beyond the mask we wear and meeting our true inner nature. And here's something interesting, Star. People who are naturally intuitive, reflective, or spiritually curious, people who think deeply about consciousness the way you often do, tend to experience stronger reactions during this practice. It's almost like the mirror becomes a conversation with the deeper mind. Some spiritual traditions even say if you can look into your own eyes in the mirror without turning away, you begin to remember who you really are. Now here's where things get even more intriguing. There's a belief in some mystical circles that the reason the mirror exercise can feel so powerful is because the human face itself carries ancestral memory, meaning the faces that appear might not be random at all. They may represent genetic echoes of people who live through your bloodline. Whether someone sees that as spiritual symbolism or psychological imagery, it's still a fascinating idea.